Welcome back to Trove, where cheating is very common and considered viable. Anyways, this video I'm going to be doing a quick recap on for those who don't understand what got added in the latest update. This is just an everything you need to know gear up Rising Tides version. So I've been doing the everything you need to know for a little while, and this is going to be just explaining the basics of this update so you actually have an idea or what to expect. This is not a video just explaining the tactics on how to get all of the resources faster, just explaining how to get them. So the two updates that got added in the latest console bundle is going to be the Rising Tides and the Gear Up patch. Gear Up is the minor update that got added back in March if I recall correctly, and the Rising Tide is going to be the summer expansion that got added in June, both of them on PC. And on console we got both of them with all of the hot fixes, so it includes this video that you do see right here. I will try to separate each of the update as a separate category so you actually have an idea of what got added in each individual update. So first things first, let's start talking about Gear Up. Gear Up is extremely straightforward. Everything is going to be revolved around the Gearcrafter profession, which you do see it right here in the hub, where there is going to be not only the Gearcrafter profession, the Gearcrafter's vault, and pretty much everything related to the gear progression. Gearcrafting profession, highly recommend any single player to actually do this as the first thing that they would do. No matter if you're a new player, end game player, do this profession, get it to rank 250 because it is going to affect really heavily into your gear progression. The profession main resource is going to be the block element. Block element is going to be gotten from collecting any piece of gear and opening the new Gearcrafter's vault. Now, if you want to know how much resources that you do need in order to max out the whole profession, got a video right here, and also a video just explaining what is the Gearcrafter's vault. The other thing that got added in the Gear Up patch is the Crystal Level 5 equipment. Crystal Level 5 can be gotten in the same places as Crystal Level 4, but you can also just obtain Crystal Level 5 if you are over 45,000 power and if you are in the Gearcrafting profession in 250. If you want full information, made a video in regards to Crystal Level 5 as well. So that's Gear Up. The other update that got added was Rising Tides, and this update there's a lot to unpack. Rising Tides, we got the Uber 12 difficulty, also known as Long Shade or difficulty 15, the Depths biome, which is going to be a new delve biome, Runecrafting, which it got a rework, and Mystic gear. I'm going to quickly mention, made a video in regards to Mystic gear. If you're interested on everything from obtainability to stats to requirements to upgrade, everything that you need to know, made a video in regards to Mystic gear right there. Now, let's start talking about some of the other stuff, starting with Uber 12, also known as Difficulty 15 Long Shade, which they changed the name of all the Uber portals for some reason. Now, Uber 12 is now Difficulty 15, Uber 11, Difficulty 14. It's just a more confusing kind of way of it's like a more streamlined, but at the same time more confusing. It's kind of weird. But yeah, instead of just being Novice World to Master World and then Uber 1 to Uber 12, it's now going to be from difficulty 0 to difficulty 15. That's just going to be how the portals work right now. Anyways, I will be referring it as Uber 12. So every single time that you do hear me say Uber 12, I'm talking about Long Shade difficulty 15. So the power requirement is going to be 42,500 powering, 10,000 light. But if you want to be somewhat efficient in defeating enemies, 11,500 light and roughly 45 to 46,000 power rank. So pretty much just essentially maxed out and actually have Berserk Battler. I would highly recommend you to get to 12,000 light, because 12,000 light is like the break point where you actually start doing damage into the enemies. So in other words, if you want to do somewhat efficiently, you need to be already pretty much maxed out. It's kind of rough. The other thing in Uber 12 is going to be the biome. It is going to be 3 biomes that is going to rotate every 3 hours. The biomes are going to be all the biomes that you do find in regular Uber portals and all 3 sub biomes in Geo Topside. Those are all of the biomes that you can encounter, and it is going to be on a set rotation. If you actually want to check it out, all of the set rotation, I will be leaving also a link in the description down below so you can actually just see all of the rotation for Uber 12 biomes. This is important because each of the biomes has an exclusive plant tied to it. You can actually just see each of the plants right there, and all of these plants are going to be used for new crafting recipes, especially with the rune crafting profession. There's also going to be 3 new ores, which are going to be this one right here. There's also going to be a new 5-star dungeon that spawns in every single biome. I'm going to be explaining that more in a bit. And there's also going to be a new outpost as well that spawns in every single biome. which I'll get more into that right now. The outpost is going to be this little boat that you do see right here. It spawns in every single biome inside Uber 12. Get used to going here into this outpost because this outpost is going to have a new crafting table, and this crafting table will allow you to craft not only crafting recipe for mastery, but also important items that are going to be used to progress into this update. It is going to be for the 5-star dungeon, for the new Delph biome, and the Runecrafting profession, and to an extent mystic gear. These are going to be a very important outpost, so get used to going there very often. I was going to start out with the 5-star dungeons first and foremost. So the new Uber 12 5-star dungeon is going to be a Colosseum style dungeon, which spawns in every single biome. This is going to be a 1 wave 5 objective 5-star dungeon similar to Geo Topside. But once you do complete it, it's going to spawn a chest in the middle just like the Thunder Uplands 5-star dungeons. And it's going to require a brand new key, and this brand new key is going to be crafted in the Uber 12 outpost. Again, recommended to have 12,000 light or above if you want to complete this dungeon. Next up on this list is going to be the Depths Delph biome. The Depths is also going to be craftable inside the outpost in Uber 12, and also on the outpost you can also buy it for either cubits or credits to Mr. Thomas Torres. So that's the only way that you can just obtain this new Delph biome portal. This is going to be a completely unique underwater biome that is going to work similar to like Understack and Volcanic Vault, which is going to be only one biome in particular, and it's going to start a minimum depth of 170. And like I just mentioned, it's completely underwater, so underwater physics are going to be in play. So slow fall, more knockback, and extremely annoying to be honest. It's pretty bad, not gonna lie. And once you do complete 3 floors, instead of just getting the regular shadowy soul vault, it's going to spawn a unique vault that requires a brand new key for this particular biome alone. This brand new key again can be crafted in either the outpost in Uber 12 or in the boss room once you actually defeat the boss. And the last thing that is going to be mentioning right here is going to be the Runecrafting profession rework. So Runecrafting now goes up to 400 from 250. And the main resource that you need to keep in mind in the Runecrafting profession is going to be called the Rune Fragment. So Rune Fragments can be gotten from runes. Once the rune breaks, you actually get Rune Fragments, or if you defeat enemies in the Delph biome the Depths after you unlock the Perception node inside the Rune Anvil. The Rune Anvil is going to be the new skill tree, which is just going to be like any other skill tree. Just get resources, unlock the nodes, and those nodes is going to grant you more bonuses that is going to allow you to get not only mystic gear a little bit easier, but some of the other resources to craft everything else. And you can find the Rune Anvil either in the hub or in the Uber 12 outpost as well. And yeah, that's literally everything that got added in this update. Again, pretty straightforward. All you need to do is just go into Uber 12, go into this outpost in particular, and from this outpost you do everything else. That's essentially the Rising Tides update. You need a lot of stats to actually do Uber 12, and that's essentially everything. There's also 3 new dragons, by the way, and the 3 dragons are going to be 2 ancestral, 1 legendary dragon, and the way to obtain them is going to be through waiting. Yeah, pretty much. The legendary dragon, you can use a golden dragon effigy, but if you want to get them without using the effigy, all you need to do is just wait. In Uber 12, instead of just spawning regular invaders, it's going to spawn obelisk. They work like similar to invaders. All you need to do is just interact with it, and you have 3 crafting recipes, and each of the crafting recipe is going to allow you to spawn a boss, and once you do defeat the boss, it's going to grant you 1 of the 3 dragon fragments. Each of the boss grants a specific dragon fragment, and that's how you're going to get the dragon fragments for the new dragons. It's just waiting for the most part for invaders. The obelisk will last for 5 minutes after it spawns, and you can only spawn 1 boss per obelisk. And yeah, those are all of the important things that you need to know about the Rising Tides updates and everything that got added in this update. I didn't cover literally everything because I don't want to spend here for like 30 minutes to an hour just explaining literally anything and everything. If you want to go ahead and read everything yourself, I will leave a link in the description down below for both of the updates. If you want everything in full detail, which is where I got most of the screenshot that you do see in this video. Also in the description, there's going to be a more detailed explanation on some of the things that I did talk about, which is going to be most of the stuff in the gear up patch and mystic gear for the most part. And yeah, so if you want to go ahead and check those out, it does help me out more than you think, because you know I need them views and the watch time. All that aside, thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you for sticking around. As always, this just been the end of the video. Leave a like, sub, does help me out. Subs helps my ego. Like helps recommendation. That's just how YouTube works. Follow me on Twitch. I do streams in regards to this update every so often. So make sure to check me out on Twitch. Twitch.tv/JonNario94. With all that being said, farewell.